Hi guys, now it's 2 p.m. It's time to go on part 2 of our brilliant Kaziranga safari, which has the jeep part, and in the central zone known as Kohora, the elephant safari we were doing in Bagori. So let's go! There are 4 zones in Kaziranga National Park. Bagori, which we went for the elephant safari, does not have a jeep safari. But the other 3, Kohora, the central zone, and Agartharolia, the western zone, and Bharapur, which is the first zone out of them all, have jeep safaris. Wow! Time to get on to
You sit आगे.
We are sitting right at the back or in the middle?
Okay, now hand me that camera. Here we are leaving the Borgos Resort.
Waiting.
Yup, we are waiting at the entrance because there's a queue. Oh, there we go. Far off, where the arrow is pointing, there was a rhino. 2 rhinos, in fact. We saw a new species of deer on this channel called hog deer. Kaziranga National Park is also a natural World Heritage Site, and Ganges River dolphins also sometimes swim in the park's waters of the Brahmaputra River and are visited by many migratory birds, which is a big highlight of Kaziranga. As you can see here, there was an open-billed stork at the edge of the river. It was an amazing stork. You know where else we saw open-billed storks, right? Ranganathettu Bird Sanctuary. But this is a different species of open-billed storks. And they live in a much more different environment. Another few hog deers, but this time they were in a much denser environment and on the river embankment. Most likely they were here to drink some water. Maybe they already drank, and now are sitting down to just enjoy another day at the river. It's amazing to see all of this happening. Water bodies are the best places to look for creatures, and these types of areas best for plants. And right in the center of the picture, there was the 7-colored jungle fowl. People often confuse them for the jungly murgi, but jungly murgis are brown, and this one, well, is 7 colors as mentioned earlier. And atop of a very clear tree, there was a fishing eagle nest right there. Behind this, there was a hog deer. Again, this central zone was flooding with them. See, there you go. Now it's out in the clear open. There are only 110 tigers here, so these deers are safe, and they know that. A deer was sitting and another deer was sitting comfortably within a tree. Under a tree. This one had horns, so I suppose it was a male. Doesn't it look like Bambi? I'm sure most of you have seen that movie. And there were a lot of other deers also within the trees. But that deer was brilliant. And way far off, there was a rhino walking in the distance. There were elephants within this grass, but do you know that this grass is called elephant grass? It keeps the elephants hidden from predators like tigers and leopards. That's why we were not able to see them, because they were hiding so well within the elephant grass. As this is why it's so tough to spot elephants in places like this, because of the elephant grass. They eat that grass too sometimes. And you see, just across there was an and one rhinoceros is just grazing gracefully like most of the rhinos we have seen so far on this trip. It loves to just munch on its presses all the time. And we came across an active elephant as well. Again, some elephants within the elephant grass. Now, this shows you that they are incredibly hidden, but can you see some gray far off in the distance? That's them. So, in the elephant grass, they are actually not fully covered unless they are sitting down. But it's a good place for a nap, isn't it? There were elephants on the other side too, which also had a big amount of elephant grass. But still, they are well camouflaged. So, but they are still graceful even if they are not fully seen. And there were 20 on one side, and there were 5-6 on the other. Looks like they were both about to cross the road. So it's very amazing to see this, as I mentioned earlier. Of course, they're not able to be seen, but they very clearly, but they still are very majestic creatures. It's not very clear on the other side, but you can see right in the center of the picture there is an egret sitting on top of an elephant, and this is a symbiotic relationship, as I mentioned in our previous video, where an egret was sitting on a rhinoceros. This symbiotic relationships are common between birds and hairy mammals. It's because as the elephant helps the egret look after predators, and the egret gets a meal and the elephant gets all cleaned up. In the middle of a pond, and we were up on a tower, and in this a couple of dogs are trying to swim to the middle. And on the other side there is mammal action, as buffaloes are trying to get into the water, but there are dogs almost everywhere. Many plants are in Kaziranga National Park, and especially in Kohora and Bagori, because of that there are many more creatures. They love the vegetation as it helps hiding a lot. From here you can get a better view of the elephants from the tower. And as I saw them nearly above the cross, I was about to hurry, but then this does need some patience and you need to be quiet. Right, so we are moving in on an elephant herd, which is about to cross the road. Wow guys, be ready for this. There it was, the big beauty of Big Daddy, the elephant I named. Wow, it's just munching on grasses. This is amazing. Wow, and it does have a little mud on itself, like the rhino we saw on the elephant safari. That had a lot of mud.
There are two fellows there.
And there are two elephants which have nearly crossed the road. But this tusker, oh look at its tusks. It's grazing in that area only, but wow, there it is.